Welcome to a read along with Dr. Powell in the book Discrete Perspectives in Mathematics. Let's look at just the very last little tiny subsection of section 3.2, so 3.3 or 3.2.3, where we're using the distributive property of multiplication in order to count. Even though it's not exactly polynomials, it kind of uses the idea. Suppose we have two integers, 15 and 4, and look at their particular divisors. And we can see that one thing to notice is that they don't share any, or factors, we don't share any factors except for one itself. And also notice that if we multiply 15 and 4 together, we get 60. And the factors of 60 are, to get a factor of 60, we take a factor of 15 and we multiply it to a factor of 4. This is a lot like when we multiply polynomials together, we take one thing from one thing and one thing from the other and put them together. Okay, and it's a unique way of doing that because these don't share common factors. So we kind of a unique way of kind of pairing options together. All right. So let's take a look at the sum of factors of 60. How would we compute the sum of factors of 60? That's kind of an interesting idea, because now let's look at sums. All right. So how do we add up all the factors of 60 in kind of a nice way? Well, what if we took all the factors of 15 and added them, and all the factors of 4 and added them? And notice when we distribute, we pair different options together, we have one thing from here and one thing from here. And actually, that's uniquely how we get, just because of this idea, how we get all the unique factors of 60. And then they'll be added together. Because of this distributing, we get all the factors of 60 uniquely. We add them together and we get this. So really all we need to do, this is interesting, we factor 60 into parts that don't share a factor except for one. And then we find the sum there, find the sum there, we multiply them together. Kind of a fancy way of finding the sum of all factors of a number. Here's just another example of that. So for instance, 96, we can think of it as 12 times, we can think of it as 3 times 32 actually. And then, okay, so we have 3 times 32. So we can answer the question for 3. We add the factors of 3, 32, we add the factors of 32. Then we multiply those together and we get the sum of the factors of 96. So this is kind of another idea of how we compare options using this idea of distributive property of multiplication, which is kind of the key idea that we're using as we were multiplying polynomials. Thanks for watching.